Hello, everyone. Anyone out there? Hmm. Alright, what should I do today? I wish you could filter it just to see who does what activity, because I always forget. Alright, I need clay. I think it's a bit of clay. Oh, Donald. Imagine him just going, seeing a hole and just immediately falling over it. Everyone's happy except for you, buddy. It's a hard life, isn't it? Now this is the chiller vibe we want in the morning. Just like digging holes and just like holding a button like that and just chilling. The life. Just wish they like fall directly in my path. Oh no. Hey, you know, g'day. How you doing? It's me too. Me too. I'm still waking up. I mean, the good thing about the stream, it stops me from sleeping in. So it's good for me. But at the same time, I'm tired. But that's why it's the morning coffee when you slowly start booting up. Are we still on for a Subnautica stream? It's not tomorrow, it's the next day. Essentially, it's around about this time next day, except we add in a couple hours. I was sorry, pissed off. Oh wow yesterday. What do you mean? Yes, just not cool. Alright. Sounds good. I'll post the time, maybe today or tomorrow. Just to time zone it. Give everyone a good idea of when it's going to be. Ungeared Dreamlight, and you see it. Oh no. Well, I mean, luckily with expansion packs, you typically can get geared again pretty quickly. Well, in the past you have been able to. That's what a lot of people's complaint about. I remember about BC back in the day. It's like all the grinding, all the in-game grinding didn't mean nothing, because the gear that you got right out of the portal was just better than everything. Well, I'm sure, like, surely it can't take that long to get geared again, right? I mean, WoW can't have changed that much, right? Alright. Let's do the trick. Yeah. I love the trick. It saves so much time. And now to get rid of it. Oh, it's got that accidentally, but tidy. Of course, we'll give gear, but we'll have to struggle with every single one until I get enough. Yeah, that's true. I do remember there is that period. Well, and there was expansions. One mob would kill me close to 5 hits. Ooh. Well, it just gives you a better reason to play. Look at it that way. Hindsight. But to be honest, unique stuff like that makes streams way more interesting. So there's that. At least there's a flow-on positive effect of it. No one goes and watch WoW for the gameplay, really. Let's be honest. The gameplay hasn't really changed. It's the same old. It's not okay when I'm boss mob. I can't. It is okay. I mean, that's the point of gaming. It's supposed to be challenging. No, like, trust me, the most boring streams or the boringest gameplay to watch are people just kill everything. It's lame. I guess if you're coming to a stream for the story of it, yeah, maybe. But, you know, I know, you know, when you're watching me, you didn't come for the story, you didn't come for the content, you just came for me and the challenge, right? I think you're too hard on yourself. That's my opinion. You know what I should do? I need to figure out where the thorns have spawned today. Oh, they're here. Yeah. I think I think you're being too critical and not realizing that that actually makes it more interesting. But it's just me. I'm a crazy person though, so. No, I try to get to it. Yeah, but I don't think you get that. That's what makes it a bit of a challenge, right? I get what you're saying, but I don't think you really get that. It would be kind of boring if you did exactly what everyone else did. You should see it that way. That's the way I would see it. I find it's a more interesting experience doing it your way. It's like how, so you can get on stream and you know, walk it through on stream of how to figure out this problem. And I think that would be a lot more interesting than someone that was prepared and just grinding through the content. And anyone could look that up. And if you, to be honest, if you really wanted the story, you'll probably just look up Nibble 847 or whatever his name is. Oh. So I wouldn't stress too much about it. What's the challenge if you cannot kill it though? The challenge would still be trying to be able to kill instead of dying within 3 hits. And no amount of heals will do anything to save me. You realize that's the challenge. The challenge is figuring out how to fix that problem. That's the challenge. I mean, you ask yourself, can you find a stream that has that challenge? Has that problem? And how many streams are actually streaming to figure it out? Trust me, that's way more entertaining than someone just doing what everyone else is doing. And you're probably not the only one, but still, that's the point of what, you know, sometimes people forget, is streaming's not always about things going well or perfect. That's what makes the streaming entertaining, if things don't go perfect. If you wanted perfection or wanted someone to show you how to do things perfectly, they probably wouldn't be watching streamers like us. And probably watching like pro players or something. Ones have been doing it for years. And that's my opinion. It's like, the most interesting streams are the ones that things don't go right. Because then you end up being like me and like you've finished everything and just winding through the motions. I mean, I've got 54 days pretty much doing the same thing and slowly going crazy. Like, my or 43 days, I should say. And there isn't a lot for me to do other than Stitch. And I'm really excited for Stitch to a point where like I unlock it on Saturday. I would say unlock on Saturday. The next bit of the quest is on will pop up on Saturday, so I'm holding off for one day just to do it on stream. Just so I have something else to do. But I'm excited because I'm gonna get Stitch, and I think I get coffee beans as well. It's gonna be a big time for me. On your PC now. Yeah, you should stream it and just go for the motions and figure out the challenge that you have in front of you. How can you do it without? How can you get better gear without killing things? And do your research on it. Like, don't feel bad. Like, kind of just take a step back while you're on stream and go, all right, how can I figure this out? How can I get this gear? Trust me, that's interesting. Happy for you, thanks. I may regret just playing the same game over again, that I'd be sick of it, but it gives me more time to talk. Yes. Yeah, maybe I need to move that out a bit. Too close to that pathway, but that'll be good for now. Now it's about tidying. Like, pretty much I'm in tidy up mode of kind of like trying to get things where I want them within my limitations that I've got, which suck. Because I would rather put down a lot more stuff than I can currently. Yep, I'm gonna need more of this. It's like getting my pathways back up. Don't really like that, do I? Notice when you got 0, it's very hard to remove the pass. Which is weird. Alright. Back to digging. We'll trap him in a hole again. Alright, so I'm going to do this, so we'll do it that way. There we go. Oh. This is going to be the chiller vibes for this morning. Just casually digging. Maybe if I can. See, I've put a mug on my mouse right now, so it's doing the work for me. It's not cheating, because I mean I'm still doing it. There's a lot more racks doing it this way. Alright.
Oh, hey. Huh. All right.
This is my new technique. Making you go, no, I need to dig for clay. It doesn't always pop up. So there you go. Oh no, that's dirt. So that's soil. That's clay. There you go. So in order to make this particular pathway, I need clay. And it doesn't always pop up. So it takes a lot of digging. It's one of the quests in the game. I think it's like to get 100 clay or something, and it's one of the like most horrible quests to do because it just doesn't spawn very often. So what I'm doing is digging a whole bunch of holes, digging up supplies. I've got my companion bugs and that trapped in that little fence. So when I release him, he gives me a whole bunch of new resources without spreading them all over the valley or interrupting me all the time. These are just, yeah. This is one of those things that when you don't have the right supplies, it's really annoying. I think clay is the only supply I really don't have a lot of. Because you just don't get it a lot. The only time you get it is if you dig in a certain biome. And you need clay for a lot of things too. So it's more, I don't know if this defines as a grind when I'm not actually doing anything. I mean, technically I'm doing something, but not really doing something. And it's bugged as well. I can't reach that. But I can move it. Now. Alright. This technique is actually, I don't know why I didn't think of it before. I mean, I have used it before, but it's more of a regular thing. You're gonna patch it up? Yes, I am. I don't know if you saw it. I did it before. But basically, there's a trick to it. If you place a house or a building on the holes, it fills them in automatically. The other option is that if you leave them, after 3 days, they automatically fill in anyway. So, yeah, there's that as well. I just realized if I dig over resources and I haven't picked them up, I might lose them. So I'll quickly just pick these up. Yeah, I'm getting some good amounts there. I'll show you once this is all dug up. If you're actually interested. Not much. Yeah. Well, there's gonna be a lot of digging for a good 5 more minutes, so no stress. I forgot. What time did you want me to start the Subnautica stream? I think it was like 1 o'clock your time, right? Oh, 3 p.m. your time. Alright. Alright, I'll pencil that in. Ooh. Not too late for us, obviously. Fair enough. And I'll probably go on for about 4 to 5 hours. That's my goal. I'm going to try and go for the 5-hour mark. But we'll see how it goes, because it is my weekend, and if I stream all day, let's just say it's probably not fair on my partner. Like, I'm at work all day, I stream in the morning and evenings, and then I take up all day to stream. It's kind of a bit unfair on her. She already like a bit misses our nights, but she also sees the benefits of it as well. So she's like, you know, it sucks, but she's also gets it. No, that's a supportive partner right there. Because you can say things suck. It doesn't mean you're against it or you're being negative on it. It sucks. You know, it could be something you really enjoy, but it sucks for someone else. But they get it. I think too many. This is not relationship guru David at all. But yeah, too many people see like someone not liking something or something sucking as being against it. It doesn't always mean that. Sometimes things just suck. You know, it's just, you know, you get it. But it sucks. Relaxing. I don't know why I didn't think of this before. It makes life so much easier. But then again, I got time. So, I mean, I shouldn't really make things easier for myself. Alright. Alright, you know, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So, once you dig all these holes, and the problem is that it does add to the item limit as well, holes. So if you notice, it's blowing that out. This is the trick. Alright, so if you ever play this game, first step, dig all the holes. First step, trap your digging companion in a fence. Step 2, dig all the holes. Step 3, remove the fence, and all the extra resources should spawn around you. Watch this. Yay! And you just pick up all the resources. Alright. And the final step is removing all the holes. This is what you do. You get a building. It's very satisfying. Extremely satisfying. You get a building. So I'm just using Moana's boat. And then you can just place them over the holes and they automatically get rid of. There you go. And I've got a few of them here. That one's always in an odd place, so. That out. All done. Now I've got a bunch of new resources. But that was easy, yeah. It's a lot easier. A lot easier. It does make me worried though, like, you know, as you know, this game's been really good with my mental health and pushing me in the right direction in my real life and on streaming as well. I'm gonna hit the wall soon of like what to do. There's only so much I can do in the game. So I really want to start pushing for the streams to slowly evolve into like a just chatting stream with this in the background. But sometimes it's a little bit difficult because I'm not that popular, and sometimes there's an empty stream like yesterday. For my morning and afternoon streams, so evening streams, I should say. Pretty much only one person showed up. I think that was to the evening stream, and so it's trying to fill that void of what to do. And logically, you'd just say play another game. But I don't know if there's any other games I could just do this as casually as I have been and not been too concerned if I never play the game again. So it'll be interesting to see what craziness I start to come up with. By playing the same thing over and over again. But that's why I kind of want to stretch out the Stitch thing. I don't want to kind of rush it. So yeah, I'm not in any rush to do the Stitch thing. And he's got like this little leveling to do with him, and because he has to get to level 10, so he starts up level 1. So there's plenty to do with him. And then coffee beans is another resource that I need to kind of farm, but it seems like, you know, we've got over a month of new content. It's probably my fault for like rushing through the content, but to be honest, I wouldn't have done it any other way. I really enjoyed it. And the clip shows are actually doing pretty well on YouTube. Well, better than my normal content anyway. Exactly. Yeah. And I did. And I'm hoping to keep it up as well, so... because I mean, technically this game's not even released yet. So there's still a lot of content to be released and updated. And I like the idea of the ones that do like Dreamlight Valley and do find my stream. And they're following along, so... Now what? Get rid of all these. So pretty much, I think, all good with my food. I don't think I need any more gems. I'm obsessed with getting gems because gems is probably going to be that. Because the insanity of Dave is going to get so bad, it's going to evolve to a point where I'm trying to max out every resource in the game. So that's why I'm just jumping on all the gems I can to make that a little bit less daunting as I go. Actually, yeah. I have to do the daily discussions. There's a few things I can do like that. Those are massive grinds. I would say those are the worst kind of grinds. It's not even an interesting task. Oh no, I don't have any eggplant. Oh, I don't have any canola. No. Oh, I do need quite a lot of that. That just gives me an excuse to farm Wally's thing more. Something to do. Alright. I'm gonna cough, so I'm just gonna mute this. You're very phlegmy throat this morning. Alright, we're gonna do some mining. We got about half an hour to go. For the day. Good start. Good morning. Thanks for popping along though, Ina. Keeping me company. It's good that you kind of are exactly the vibe that I want to bring. Is just the chill out one that, you know, it's not about the game. It's just about, you know, people just gas bagging for a good hour or two. And then you can actually do your own thing, not feeling like you need to be engaged or always talking on the stream. You can just let the vibe go. And then once in a while a newbie comes along, and that's when you you perk up as well, like, oh, what's this person about? But also you have that music playing in the background, which is something I wanna work on, is getting the music more versatile, more different, so people aren't getting sick of it. That's the key. I'm gonna add to it. Some of the new stuff that you showed me actually is getting flagged by copyright for Twitch, so I need to figure out which ones are so I can remove them. I don't think all of them aren't. It was just, I think it's just in a couple of them. So I need to figure out which ones. I mean, it's not a huge deal. I don't get like copyright strike or anything. It just means my VOD doesn't get automatically posted. A shiny one. So it seems to be more rubies and sapphires dropping. That's interesting. Well, what else do I want to do? I guess that's the real question. I guess I've got to find some cotton. Pop that up. I'm nearly there. I think I'm going to have to move into like just maxing out literally every resource. Actually, that would be insane. By the next update, I've literally got like full chests of every single item in the game. That's oddly satisfying to me. Hey, Calypso. Good to see ya. How you doing? How's your morning? I'm doing well. I heard Ina's popped along to keep me company this morning. But yeah, going well. Definitely hitting the wall of things to do, but I'm slowly filling the void and coming up with ideas. So, and we should have by this time next week we should have Stitch unlocked. So that would be interesting, leveling him up, and should be able to get coffee beans. So we'll be able to unlock pretty much everything that's left in the game. And then I'll just went to my parents at dinner, but nice. Free food. Free food is always great. Alright, get some more.
Good to see you.
It was interesting. I didn't have so yesterday's stream, and obviously you too. Please don't feel guilty or bad about this, but I didn't have anyone showing up to the stream in both my morning and afternoon and evenings, apart from one person who showed up, who was actually from New Zealand, and it was that me person. They showed up, so it actually turned out someone who actually came to the stream previously showed up to it. It was really cool. So it's just not you two returning. You know, why do you always clomp people? Feels really aggressive. Like an anime character, like eating someone. Because hugs Dave. Isn't Glompers like eating though? Like, doesn't Glompers that? Hugs that? I don't know. Maybe I'm too old to understand the reference. I'm just old now. I've reached the point where these youngins are making references that I don't understand. Is that the sound they make? Because if that's the sound they're making, I think Americans are hugging wrong. Or at least something needs to be looked at there. Nah, maybe it's a youngin thing I just don't understand because I'm old. But hey, spreads more love in the world. Go nuts. The world goddamn needs more of that, that's for sure. I mean, I'm easing up to the glomp, but I guess in my brain, because my brain's like a little bit analytical, like I hear glomp, I just think of something like being eaten. But I guess the thinking works. So I hope you realize that there's nothing wrong with it. It's just my brain trying to compute it, like trying to figure out the origins of glomp. I'm glad. I'm glad you see it that way. Because sometimes, like, I do come across a little bit more aggressive when I don't understand something, or like I'm making fun of it, or something like that. And let's just say there's been scenarios where it's been misconstrued and hasn't gone down well. So, especially on stream, it's harder because with different cultures, different way people seeing things, different interpretations. Yeah. But I do like how you two are pretty much staples in this mini community that I have. I really enjoy it because like now when I get on a stream, it's a bit easier because I know that either Cal or might be there, and then my day won't be sitting in silence or my stream won't be completely silent. Yeah, I can see that. Can you see that because of me, or see that as in like you understand that concept? I mean, either way, it's fine. I'm just curious because I do feel like I come across that way sometimes. It sucks, and that's just where my social anxiety comes in. It's that, and you get that with ADHD. Actually, you get a lot of social anxiety because of ADHD, because you end up just saying what's on your mind instead of what you probably should say. Said the good say, yeah. ADHD is all about, like, a lot of people either don't realize it or don't know. ADHD is an impulse control kind of condition. So a lot of the time, making friends or social stuff is a lot more difficult because you end up saying the wrong thing or doing things awkward or being the weird kid, or the weird person that does or say something a little bit off or odd. It's just because, if everybody said what was in their brain, the world would be a very weird place, and then no one would be weird. So I guess it would actually be a better place. But still, yeah, it's you just have a habit of saying what's on your head, on your brain, and then you put your foot on it, and then people don't really want to hang out with you, or kind of sucks. I mean, it's a perfect for a creative type, or like a streamer like me, and you can make it a little bit entertaining, and then you can be silent for ages, and then someone comes in, and all of a sudden you spring to life and go down some rabbit holes and stuff. It's good in that kind of sense. But it's bad more in the social circle when people like it kind of takes a bit back. It's like, whoa, dude, I was just saying hi. I'm slowly understanding ADHD because of you and watching my friends go, oh, nice. We sure he has ADHD. Oh, cool. Well, I hope it's a positive. As a nurse, it'll be really critical. And now Moana's got me stuck in the corner. Moana's got me stuck. I'm hoping she'll just walk away. But I'm stuck in the corner. There we go. Yay! Yeah, it's... I mean... Adult ADHD and kid ADHD is a little bit different, but similar. I mean, my niece has autism ADHD, and they believe my other niece has it as well. And you can grow out of it, but adult ADHD is a lot harder, in my opinion. It's me, but because that's the only experience I have. But I think it's a lot harder because as a kid, it can be kind of excused, or he's a kid, and they're kind of forced into social kind of scenarios and friendships form that way. As an adult, it's harder. I mean, you're not really forced in social circles unless you work with someone. And at work, you're typically the person who talks all the time or kind of in your face about stuff or goes on rambles and stuff. Isn't the person that's the most popular person on the planet. So it's a very isolating. And luckily, my partner, she also has it. So we forgive each other a lot, but in relationships, romantic relationships, it's a lot more difficult as well because you end up doing things you don't intend to do or put your foot in a lot in terms of fights and arguments and laziness as well. Being overwhelmed with ADHD, you get the sporadic and hyper focus, and you really can be really good at one particular thing because you get really invested in it. But also the opposite is if it's boring, or if it's not satisfying, or if it's a chore or something like that, you tend to put it off a lot more. You just can't get it done. You can't find that motivation to just get it done. Like dishes, like washing, like cleaning your room, things that don't give you that satisfaction. Like you see how organized and tidy I'm on here. That's not like my real life. I just enjoy having it the way it is. If the organization slipped and everything was a mess, it would drive me nuts. It's why I can't have my inventory just holding stuff. You notice I always have to clear out my inventory, and I can't just hold stuff in place. Like, this has to be very structured. See, these are the items, like, everything's got a purpose in this little menu here. Like, these are my hard items that I'm going to store. These are the ones I'm going to sell. These are my gems. These are all the fish up here. Notice I don't move the fish because I know I'm going to go back to Mon Wed's boat and keep on topping it up. So I'm going to keep on topping up these fish. So I don't dump them in the chest at the start of the stream. Now I do it at the end of the stream. I put these little things here because there's my collectibles that get off the ground. It's very structured. And so ADHD is I call it a superpower, but it's also a curse. So you're hyper focused, you're really good, and you just kind of manage to like get a particular thing done if it satisfies you. But if you do that thing for too long and there isn't any more satisfaction, you stop doing it or you start slipping up. So that's why with this stream, that's why with this game is why I started streaming, to give that a little bit extra boost when I need it. So like talking to you guys, that's that extra boost I get from doing this instead of the same thing over and over again. And in turn, it helps my mental health because I'm doing this for me. At work, I can hyper focus on something, but that's not really for me. It's my job. And outside of work, I'm typically doing a lot of things for like either my partner or just clean the house or chores and stuff like that. Nothing for me, and this feels like it's for me, and I can keep engaged. Asperger's suck. Yeah, it does. Definitely does. And that's the problem with mental health, is that it's a rather new kind of field, even though we've known it for a long while. That's turning to more of a, you don't just have, ADHD or Asperger's. You have like a scale of it. Like you've got it, but the scale is like here or here. And there's different treatments for where you land on the scale. And it does kind of suck that we seem to be moving in a direction where everyone's trying to compete to have like the worst mental health condition. Like you're not happy unless you've got something kind of deal. And it's like, I honestly think we'll eventually reach a point that we've figured out the brain so much that we realize everyone's got something, a scale of something. You could, the normal people, you could say, or the ones that aren't diagnosed with a mental illness, I reckon they'll be able to figure out a way of, like, you do have, like, on the scale of 1 to 100, a 2% ADHD brain, or something like that. But the more that goes on, the more we're going to be able to develop treatments for it. And hopefully we eventually move to where people don't kind of use it as either an excuse or like a badge of trying to up someone. Everyone's just like, oh, that's just part of who I am, part of my identity. It doesn't matter. We figured out, how to treat that, how to look after it. I think that's why sometimes it does sadden me when people, kind of use that as a shield or a way of kind of just one-upping someone. Because it kind of like if you're using it to one-up someone, you're basically diminishing the person you're trying to one-up. Because their mental health is just as valid as anyone else. And so obviously there's extremes in every scenario. Some mental health is definitely worse than others, most definitely. Me personally, if you ask me what was worse, ADHD or Asperger's, probably I would say Asperger's would probably be harder to live with, definitely. Just based on what I know, never lived it. I have no idea, just on the surface, on paper. But again, it's scale. So I mean, if someone's got severe ADHD, like really, really severe ADHD, and someone's got very minor Asperger's. Asperger's. If you were to ask me under that condition which one's worse, I wouldn't be able to answer that without like studying it more. And when I'm saying very minor, I mean very minor, like, and very severe, very, very severe. So it's like everything's is becoming more scaled. And so you can never like treat ADHD the same. It's really bad. I don't want to go anywhere. Just interaction face to face could mean nothing but anxiety. Yeah, I can understand that. It's not always the case with ADHD, but I can definitely understand a little bit of that. I think that's the trick that we're going to have as a society going forward, is working out what's the workaround for that. Just because we don't know what the workaround right now is, doesn't mean there isn't one. And I think, we always figure it out eventually, but with mental health and all that big piece that goes down with it, I think we're still trying to work out how we are going to approach it. So yeah, your anxiety, must suck tremendously. But also, I have a sneaky bit of hope that, as you go through life and figure out your own scale of it and how, in turn, that can be looked after or managed, you could end up with, like me, you could end up being 35 playing a game here on stream, even though everything in his bones just makes him scream and cry. Life is funny like that, because I used to have a very, very hard time in my 20s with my mental health, and some very dark times there. I won't go into that because it get me too emotional, and I need to go to work in like 4 minutes. Joys of working from home. And then it got very dark, and there was a lot of drinking involved and a lot of stuff. And I remember being single. I never had a long-term relationship. And when I say long-term, longer than like 2 months. Actually, yeah, 2 months. Or a month. Something like that. I didn't have a long-term relationship until I was 32. I'm 35 now. So my longest relationship is the one I'm in right now, and she's perfect. And I've never been happier. But there was a lot of time during my 20s I didn't believe that would ever happen. I kind of got to my 30s and resigned the fact that, I'm so messed up, no one see anything special. Ended up leaving jobs all the time. Not be able to, like, every time anything got difficult, something got run. And then I met my partner. He pushed me to get diagnosed, and now I actually have a decent job. And I really, if I just did my job for the rest of my life, I'd be pretty set up for life. As long as, I do my job and don't muck up. you know, anyone can get fired at any time, so. Though in New Zealand it's quite difficult. The joys of employment laws in New Zealand, you can't exactly get fired that easy. But anyway, it took me a very long time to figure that all out. And I'm still figuring it out, but mental health sucks. I'm just glad we live in a time that it's not shunned away or ashamed of. It still is, to some degree. I mean, don't talk to any Scientologist about mental health. But it gives me a bit of hope, despite the world's very messy at the moment. Despite the fact of how dark my life has been, still not the most insane in the world. I mean, there's a lot of times I wish I've read my comic books by now or a few other things, but I don't exactly control all that. See, when I'm on my meds, when I'm on my ADHD meds, I'm a lot more kind of positive, which is weird. I'm used to being rather negative. Very long time. I think Ina probably remembers back in the day when I was streaming. I wasn't the most positive person in the world. I am now. Dave has grown up. But I do hope I never lose that, that itch to be creative, or the itch to be something more. Like, I don't want to hit my 40s or 50s and just go, all right, I'm going to give up on my dreams or give up on trying to make something for myself. I think too many people do that. And then it reminds me of so many different, people in history that didn't do that. I think J.K. Rowling, she's not the best example right now. But, she didn't get published till 30s, 40s, something like that. Let's hope that doesn't happen, yes. And stuff like this, streaming, helping me push towards my being creative and letting me open up and do things and try new things. It's a good way of making sure that doesn't die. Alright guys, it is guys and girls and everyone in between. I want that to be my saying, but I don't know if that's offensive. Guys, girls, and everyone in between. I don't know if that works. I think that's more offensive. Because some people aren't in between, they're neither. Alright, anyway, the clock's going off and I'm not going to dig myself a grave so you guys can clip it. So thanks again, you two. It's been great. It's always good when you two, when the regulars pop in and we're able to have a good chat together. Grab shovel, yeah. But yeah, I'll be on, as always, in 13 and a half hours. And the Subnautica stream is a go, so we should be doing that soon. So that would be interesting. But based on time zones and stuff, I think it might be a bit too late for you, Cal. But it'll be in the evening on a Friday night, so you never know. But anyway, gotta go. I'm procrastinating. Until next time.